Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Digital Quill Podcast with your host, Mars Wilson. Today, we're going to go into a slightly more spooky, alien-y, and maybe even esoteric worlds. I've got my tinfoil hat on, and let's get to it. One moment, please. We might be having a bit of a technical difficulty thing going on. I don't know if the world wants us to talk about this. I'm just kidding. Most of this is all for show, because I have to be entertaining even when we're talking about things that may not necessarily be agreeable to everybody. I should have taken notes. I really should have. But we're not going to worry too much about that, are we? No. Because what we're going to do instead is we're going to go over to the Googles. The googly woogly. And we're going to start reading from the very first thing and just jump right into today. What is a starseed meaning? So that's kind of what today is. Starseeds, aliens, esoteric nonsense. Star people, or starseeds, are a variant of the belief in alien-human hybrids in New Age belief and fringe theory, introduced by Brad Steiger in his 1976 book, Gods of Aquarius. It argues that certain people originated as extraterrestrials and arrived on Earth through birth or as a walk-in to an existing human body. Now, before I get into the rest of the articles you see at the very top of that, we're going to talk about that part, because that part freaked me out. It had me so freaked out that I read it, got to the part where it said alien hybrids, blah, 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 and I'm holding my laptop after doing a card reading on TikTok, and I'm like, nope. The reason I did that is because growing up, my mother figure called me a starseed or an indigo child. She used both, interchangeably sometimes, but mostly starseed. And then there was a guy I was seeing once upon a time who was deeply, I wouldn't say into the alien thing, but they had some interesting stories. Interesting stories that kind of brought some of my own back to light. And what do you believe? What do you believe on this insane blue marble in alien life and theory and fringe theory about witches and warlocks, I guess? I don't freaking know. Oh my gosh. That person who had a lot of interesting stories. I can't recount them because it's not my place to do so. I wish we were still on speaking terms, but that's neither here nor there. Maybe one day they'll be brave enough to share their story. I don't know. Regardless, I can share mine, and I can share people's stories I've been given permission to share. Starseeds. Have you heard of the term starseed before? Let's continue before getting into the personal heebie-jeebie of it. Are you a starseed? Signs you may be from another world. This was written a month ago. Ever felt from a disconnect from Earth? Like you're wired differently? Do the stars call to you, whispering of a home you can't quite place? If fitting into societal norms feels like trying to squeeze a square peg into a round hole, you might be a starseed, a soul with roots beyond this planet, here on a mission. How to know if you're a starseed? Still unsure? Ask yourself, do you feel like Earth isn't your true home? Have you always been fascinated by space? Do you struggle with human societal norms? Do you experience unexplained psychic phenomena? Have you had dreams or visions of other worlds? If you answered yes to most, you might be a starseed. A starseed is a soul that originates from another planet, galaxy, or dimension. It's a being that carries the essence of other worlds and feels drawn to the stars. If you resonate with these questions above, it might be because you feel a deep sense of not belonging, an intense curiosity about the cosmos, and a sensitivity to the mystical. For decades, the concept of starseeds has resonated within spiritual communities. It suggests that some souls originate from distant stars, galaxies, or dimensions and have chosen to incarnate on Earth with a specific purpose: to elevate the planet's vibration and contribute to the evolution of humanity. Does this resonate with you? Let's explore further. This article will delve into the meaning of being a starseed, the telltale signs, and how to embrace your potential if this idea ignites a spark within you. What defines a starseed? A starseed is believed to be a soul whose origins lie beyond Earth. While all life on Earth is fundamentally star stuff, starseeds possess a spiritual connection to another world. English words, come on. They can consciously choose to be born on Earth to help raise its spiritual frequency, share their unique wisdom, and contribute to humanity's progress. Yep, just gonna quit everything right the heck now as soon as I'm done with this episode because I am tired. Unlike souls deeply enmeshed in Earth's cycle of reincarnation, starseeds, the feeling of not belonging, unlike souls deeply enmeshed in Earth's cycle of reincarnation, starseeds. I feel like that article got cut off. It did. It did get cut off. I need to sign into Medium, and I haven't signed in forever. Moving on to Reddit. 2 years ago, r/starseeds. I didn't even know that was a thing until just now when I clicked on the Reddit thing. I had set up the link from all of this, and then wow. Okay. First, let me start off by saying we are all equally divine, and being a starseed doesn't make us more special or worthy than others. True. This subject should be approached with humbleness for the purpose of self-inquiry and realization, not to boost our ego. Thank you. What are starseeds? Broad definition. Starseeds, that was too much. Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure that you guys could see that. Starseeds, broad definition. Starseeds in a broader sense are simply souls who originate from other planets and other systems, as opposed to souls native to Gaia. The moment a soul begins its journey through form is considered their birth and place of their origin. They often have been incarnating among many different star races in a variety of star systems in our Milky Way galaxy and even beyond. Some would say that souls native to Gaia, aka Earthseeds, are actually rather in the minority here due to the heavy engagement from other civilizations and the melting pot our planet has become over its long galactic history. Which would make Earthseeds actually the more rare occurrence here, and when they choose to incarnate on other planets, they would, by this definition, become starseeds there. Narrow definition. More specifically, though, the term starseed refers to a group of highly evolved, old and experienced souls who answered Gaia's call for help and decided to come to Earth in order to support humanity in their liberation and ascension process, shining their light into the darkness to transmute duality from within. Since those starseeds often come from an already ascended state of unity conscience, the higher dimensions, they carry within themselves the blueprints for the new golden age and the memories of living in oneness. Therefore, they tend to be more loving and compassionate, are thinking outside the box of the limiting false matrix paradigm, and are creating solutions that transcend the old ways of duality consciousness. Okay, yep, quitting everything. Goodbye. As I'm reading some of this and teaching and sharing it with you, I'm also having weird confirmations of just stuff. It's a me thing. Don't worry about it. More general information. Some famous historical starseeds, for example, are Jesus, Goddess Isis, or Master Saint Germain. But there are also many Earthseeds who ascended from here. One of them is the Divine Feminine Ascended Master, White Buffalo Woman, and her order of Sky Grandmothers, who to this day are tending to our beautiful Mother Earth from the higher realms. Some of the most well-known star nations to us are the Pleiadians, Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Orions, Andromedians, I can't pronounce all of Slyrans, Alpha Centaurians, etc., just to name a few. We also have incarnated felines and avians. Some have been literal unicorns, centaurs, or dragons in their past, and they are incarnated reptilians, greys, and so on. Starseeds often have lived hundreds, if not thousands, of lives in humanoid and not-so-humanoid species. In star nations across the galaxy and beyond, we are a colorful mix and carry traits from all previous galactic expressions. While our place of origin still has the biggest impact on our energy signature because of the multitude of different experiences, we are not so easily put into clearly defined categories. Our soul's journey is very vast, colorful, and diverse. Signs you might be a starseed. A deep longing for home, for peace and harmony. Check. Having trouble to fit in with society, sensing the inherent fakeness of the system. Check. A thirst to find meaning in life and an understanding of our reality. Check. Feeling somehow wise beyond your age. When do you want that? Or when did you want that to start? Because that was pretty early. The desire to help others and be of service to humanity. Check. A great capacity to love and feel joy. At the moment, I just feel tired and terrified. But yeah, check. But often also a very traumatic childhood and a rather difficult healing journey. I already know because my mother told me this growing up, but like being presented with the information again is just like, oh yeah, I'm insane. I'm not actually insane any more than anyone else is on this planet, but like, anyway. Huge empathy for others, very intuitive and sensitive, spiritually inclined, and an infinity for nature, feeling called to a greatness and make a positive impact on the world. So, I'm gonna book a trip up north next year. I'm not gonna have a return trip. Because, I'm tired. Holy crap. How to find out your origin. As we established, starseeds are almost always a colorful mix of many different star races, carrying all their traits to varying degrees, and as such, cannot easily be put into categories. That's why most attempts at classifying them fall flat in the face of reality. So I would suggest not to fixate on this question too much in the beginning, as you can trust that your origin will be revealed to you eventually along this journey. No, thank you. Okay, before we dive more into this, let's get to the personal nitty-gritty of it, right? So earlier, I brought up the human I dated once upon a time who had some pretty strong alien encounters, and the one detail I'll share that I feel like I can... The reason I am inclined to believe this person is because I've had my own experiences that I can't explain. Completely sober, completely aware experiences from young childhood to adulthood to teenagehood. And the person in question from earlier had a shared experience with someone they knew. Someone that was able to confirm it. That human, that ex, that partner, I don't like using the word ex, but that person I dated, called me an alien a few different times because they just had this weird sense about me. And that's when it started dawning on me and clicking with me that starseed isn't just a esoteric word for someone who's wise beyond their years. As a matter of fact, I had kind of put the idea of starseeds and aliens under the rug for a very long time, because the idea of things I can't explain, can't logically and scientifically put into physical fact and be like, look, see, I'm not insane, bothers me. So I sweep it under a rug, and I lift up the rug every now and again, and I look, and I'm like, whatever, go away. But then this human came into my life, and and we explore and we talk and blah, 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 blah. And they say that. They say that, and something clicked in my brain, and I'm like, wait a minute. What? And then, of course, I started reading more. And then today, after doing a Oracle Tarot reading card thing, I read star seeds or star people are a variant of the belief in alien-human hybrids. And, yep. That's why that bothered me. That's why I'm like, oh, let me just put on my tinfoil hat and jump into it today, because what the heck? Can you tell I'm annoyed? Can you tell I'm annoyed by the way that I read things and the way I experience things? I'm annoyed. I'm tired. The journey has been long and harrowing, and it's also been really good. It's also harrowing. I don't want to be great. I don't want to be all powerful. I don't want to be a light in the dark. I mean, I take that back. I do. Because, like, let me be accurate. Ever since I was a little kid, ever since I was a little kid, 4, 5, 6 years old, I've had weird experiences. I've had prophetic dreams. My mother figure, would tell me that I would tell her about dreams I had, and she would make note of them, but then they would later come true. I had a dream about 9/11. I told her for a few years that, and this was between like the ages of 2 and 5. I told her for a few years that there were these people, these beings, that would come into my room. We would go into the closet, they would put something into my ear, and I would learn. That story is not uncommon. I've heard it from other people. What? I remember some of it, kind of, in a weird way. Memory is not perfect. Memory is not perfect at all. But what? And then we couple with the fact, and this is the part that, like, this is whole esoteric, alien, superstition, magic nonsense episode, okay? Okay, cool. Now that we've agreed on that, 18 minutes into this, several years before I was born, before I was even a thought in existence, my mother figure that raised me was legally dead for 2 or 3 minutes. And she heard a voice. She heard a voice telling her to go back, that there was more for her to do. Okay. So she went back. No longer dead. In 2005, that's a really weird timeline, I just realized. Don't worry about it. That's a me thing, too. In 2005, I was kidnapped for 21 days. This is a story I've talked about before. I'm not jumping into it here. The kidnapping part, go watch another episode. Specifically the ones relating to 21 Days Gone. But, I don't even always believe this, but it is the only thing that found me. For 21 days, I was taken away from my home, away from my medication, away from everything. passed around to different druggies. And on the very last night, my mother figure was about to go to bed. As she was falling asleep, she heard a voice telling her, go to Paul's. Go to Paul's. She's at Paul's. Go to Paul's. She didn't even put her shoes on. She didn't have her cell phone with her. She got in that car. She flew to Paul's, and there was his truck. There I was. Got back home, called the cops. The cops were in the neighborhood on another call. The same neighborhood on another call. They were there within 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Surrounded the place. They had recommended that I go to like a hospital or something to be checked out, but mother figure was like, no, she needs to be home. I remember that night. I remember a lot of those nights, actually. I felt so cold. I know within my heart and my soul that if I was not found on that 21st night, I would not be here right now. I would not. I had very limited food. Almost none. They took me to a bar that I'm still trying to find. I don't even think exists anymore, because either it was the best damn stroganoff I ever had in my life. I still remember the taste of that shit. Or I was fucking starving. Having God knows what done to my body. A voice told her to find me. Could it have been the voice of God, an alien, me reaching out? I don't know. She doesn't even have that answer, and I can't talk to her about it because that family doesn't like me. If they do, they have a real funny way of fucking showing it. Like staying in contact with my biological father, but hey, whatever. So yeah, kind of confirmationally freaked out right now. But also, after doing today's reading, as a matter of fact, hold on. I come bearing gifts. So most people don't have a TikTok, right? I mean, I guess some people don't have a TikTok. You watching this, you might not have a TikTok. So you're not going to know what oracle card reading I did. Which, by the way, is a new thing I'm starting to do online. Because, I can't be living in my own bubble with this stuff. I need other people to either confirm that I'm insane or that I'm not. Because I can't do that. I can't be like, yeah, Mars, you're insane. For sure. Or, no, Mars, you're just experiencing life as a human in a really weird way, and I just hope you keep going and don't, jump off the Golden Gate Bridge or anything like that. But hey, whatever. It's fine. It's cool. We're cool. I am overwhelmed as crap right now. I'm stressing about money. I'm stressing about time. I'm stressing about life. I'm stressing about myself and people and this. I checked the stats the other day because Substack emails me and it's like, you only had 18 views on this one podcast and 25 on the other, and for a little bit it was sitting at 38 and 45, like 33 average. The numbers have been going down. I shouldn't be worried about that because, whatever. The numbers on YouTube are going up. I don't like numbers. I don't like algorithms. I don't like social media in the way that it's used currently. But, I did a reading It was the first thing I did before I opened my mouth and spoke to anything else, myself, someone else. I was like, Spirit, what am I doing? Can you tell me what I need to be doing for my finances and my work and my life? And I was shuffling, and I usually always choose 3 cards, right? Because I like doing the 3-card method. I've been doing oracle reading since I was 6. My very first oracle deck was by Stephen Farmer, the Power Animal Oracle deck. And the deck I was using today, is the Starseed Oracle. Have you always had a longing for home without knowing where your home was, or a sense of knowing deep in your soul? If so, you may be a starseed soul, someone who has incarnated elsewhere in the cosmos before your time on Earth. With this guidebook, you'll find instructions for tuning to your Starseed Oracle cards and using them to connect to your own inner guidance and your true cosmic nature. Each card interpretation in this guidebook comes with a Starseed call to action to help you unlock your soul's gifts. Connect to your soul mission, uncover your star origins, and remember who you came here to be. I wish I could be normal and be like, oh, this is all fringe theory. All of this is nonsense. All of this is BS. All of this is blah, blah, blah. But I have, as I said earlier, experienced way too much to be able to do that. I wish I could go back and be like, la 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 la, life is blah 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 la la la, burying my hand in the sand, blah 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 blah, burying my head in the sand. But I can't, especially when stuff like this happens. I was shuffling, and it was almost like I stopped shuffling, and I tried to continue, but my hand literally was like, and I'm like, what? And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. Let me just read this, I guess. And it says, I'm sorry. Defenselessness, righting past wrongs, uprooting. Here's the photo of the card. As you can see, there are 2 people, 2 souls, and a divide, and they're both praying. There's all this cosmic energy around them. There's roots, and there's even 2 people in the roots. Wow, I opened up right to the page. I'm sorry. Defenselessness, righting past wrongs, uprooting. Now, if I sound or look annoyed while I'm reading this, that's because see rest of 28 minutes of this episode. We're living in divisive times. When we're hurt and triggered, we tend to see things as a personal attack rather than an opportunity for healing. If we're to find true peace and unity, we need to drop our defenses and see things outside of right and wrong. As souls, we intrinsically remember unity and yearn for it here on Earth. Perhaps this is why it feels so painful when we experience the opposite. But it's critical or crucial to remember that we can't simply bypass reality and pretend that unity, love, and forgiveness are here. This is one of the greatest challenges for starseeds. To bring about unity, we must first acknowledge the ways in which both we and the world have been divisive. Something to mean divide. Personally, ancestrally, and collectively. The shadows hate wounds, separation, severing, wrongs, and sadness. You may be called to explore how you, your ancestors, or your society have, consciously or unconsciously, inflicted pain on others, to find a way to drop the armor around your heart and see things as they truly are for all people. To say, I'm sorry, with an open heart and mean it, to be part of the healing rather than the perpetuation of inherited conflict or oppression. This isn't about blame. It's about unwinding the pattern that got us here. You may be called to devote your time to causes you believe in, or do healing work on your ancestral line. Starseed Soul Inquiry. How are you being called to drop your defenses and unwind past wrongs? Now, mind you, I tried to shuffle again to like get my normal 3-card answer. My hands just wouldn't go. I was like, come on, guys. Shuffle the deck. And it was like, nope. My question to spirit, to the collective, to Allah, to God, to the universe, to Gaia, to whatever you want to call the great and powerful beings that we can't see, but we know they're there to some extent. What am I doing with my work? I am fighting a scarcity mindset. And then I get this. And it's almost, in a way, like a weird confirmation of just to keep doing what I'm doing. Bridging gaps, building community, creating connections, writing that book. Let's continue with the other part of articling. How to find out your origin. So I would suggest not to fixate on this question too much in the beginning, as you can trust that your origin will be revealed to you. But if you're really curious, there are really only 2, maybe 3 reliable methods. Look within and ask your higher self, your intuition, for the answer, or seek out a trusted medium, Akashic reader to channel this information for you. Have a skilled starseed astrologer read your chart. Final notes. Keep in mind that there are many starseeds who are still falling for the illusion of the matrix and or are completely incapacitated by their own suffering and have not yet awakened to their mission. So even the oldest souls can still have a very hard time, as they often choose to resolve a lot of karma in this lifetime, and therefore we cannot judge them. But there are also those who are fulfilling their mission wonderfully by simply being the kind and loving people they are without knowing anything about all this. And there are older generations of starseeds who tend to be more involved and more comfortable in the system, but still shine their light into the surroundings and fulfill their purpose simply by being the loving souls they are, holding the space for the younger generations of starseeds without even being aware of their origin and mission. So really, this whole topic is very nuanced and isn't about being in a special club, but invites us to see the bigger picture and be inclusive and welcoming to any soul wherever they might be on their journey. This is a shiny article. Spirituality and omens. What is a starseed? Are you a starseed? Sigh. Life is weird. I don't always like it. Especially when it's really weird like this, because just let me have this. Objectively, this doesn't work. But at least it's entertaining. I could just never, ever pick up an esoteric book or spiritual book ever again. I could just delve only into psychology entirely. I could just, as I say that out loud, I'm reminded just that I have tried that before. Tried that to great lengths before to just be normal. What is normal? I don't know. Aliens are weird. Life is weird. God might be an alien. We might be aliens, or part aliens, or hybrids. I don't know. One of my favorite theories is we are in a simulation, like the Avatar Blue people. And some of my dreams might actually suggest that sometimes. Like the one from earlier. By the way, if someone's choking on their own vomit, don't put them on their back. Just saying that. Put them on their side. Although there might be medical professionals who might be able to guide you a little bit more. I am not a professional. Not even sure I want to be a professional in anything. After surviving trauma, after surviving life, I just want to be a human, I guess. Or a soul floating through space. It's really weird to me. I'll include all the links from today in the description below, but it's really weird to me. Just how weird everything is. What was that voice that brought her to me? Or that voice that kept her from ending her life then and there? And not ending her life, but like just her life being ended. Why do we have prophetic dreams? What are those? Why do aliens exist? What are aliens? Do you have those opinions or thoughts or knowledge or experiences? Have you had prophetic dreams? If you've answered yes to any of those questions or the questions from earlier, email me. Get in touch with the show. Let's have a discussion back and forth. And that's my time, because I want to go back to bed. So keep going, humans of Earth. Don't stop. And remember that, I don't know, remember to drink water and breathe, and that tomorrow's a new day. Thank you.